Welcome to Table Talk with Tottie, a podcast for millennials where we bring real-life topics on the table for real talk. I am your host, Natasha Weston, lifestyle entrepreneur and 3 times best-selling author. I'm a sucker for business, branding, and self-development, but I created this space to escape from the worlds we create for ourselves on the daily. Table Talk with Tottie is the epitome of having the girl next door right in your back pocket. So kick back, pour up, and join me each week for real talk, current events, and powerful conversations about life, business, and all that other ish. What up, everybody? It's me, Natasha Weston, and welcome back to the Table Talk with Tottie podcast. I am so excited about today's show, like I always am. I feel like I say that at the beginning of every episode. So if you're an oldie but a goodie, thank you so much for tuning back in for another week. If you are new here, let me know how you discovered the show. You can let me know that on Instagram, Twitter, I'm everywhere. You can tag me using the hashtag Table Talk with Tottie, or you can tag me at OfficialTottie. Did I just say that? Y'all ever had a moment where y'all said something and then you weren't quite sure, like 2 seconds later what you said? That's what a moment I just had. If you're watching this episode on YouTube, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit the subscribe button over there as well, as I also drop a lot of good stuff over there also. And so I hope you all have been having a pretty awesome week. You know, it's been one of those weeks, and I'll get into that as we get into the table, what's on my table this week, and all that good stuff. Today's episode is sponsored by TotSpot Productions. Have you ever dreamt of starting your own podcast show? Do you want to create a platform to better communicate with your audience without having to leave the comfort of your home or office? Do you dread the technical part of podcasting? Well, TotSpot Productions has just the solution for you. Introducing their Launch Your Podcast Like a Pro, a done-for-you service where they have completely eliminated the overwhelm that typically comes for entrepreneurs, creatives, and leaders who are ready to dive into the podcasting world. Let them handle the logistics and set up your newly raved about show. All you have to do is provide your show name, your concept, and 1 to 2 already recorded episodes of which you can record right from your mobile device. Learn more about this service for aspiring podcasters at totspotproductions.com/launch your podcast DFY. So I'm so excited about today's show. Last week we got so much amazing feedback from the episode last week, where we actually talked about Cardi B's debut album, Invasion of Privacy. We talked about why it's important to not just like what you love, but to support more of what you love. And y'all, I'm big on practicing what I preach. It's hard to do, But I've been really practicing that since we last congregated. And it's really an amazing feeling to really support where it matters, to the person who you are lending your support to. And so it's not only a great feeling for you as the supporter, but it's, if everybody does their part, it does shift the lives of the people who you actually do support. And so that's always going to be super important. So now we're going to move into the segment of the show where I kind of catch you guys up on what's been going on with me, especially for those of you who aren't yet following me on social media. So if you're not, please go. Let's connect on social. I'm everywhere at OfficialTottie. My stomping grounds are Instagram and Facebook, more so than any place else. That's where you can get the behind the scenes of almost every day, even the crazy ones. And people tend to love that. So shout out to everybody who's connected with me on social media. So let me tell y'all something. You know how you really need to take a seat or have several seats, and you complain about being tired and overworked and just tired. Well, that's been me, honestly, since I shared with you guys the little health scare that we had with Tyler about a month ago, a little over a month ago. And I've just been like, not really getting much sleep. If you are a mother, then you know this feeling of when when you think something's not going right with your child. It's hard to sleep. It's hard to anything. And so it went from that health scare to him getting a really bad cold, and I had to take him back to the doctors and all of that. So I wasn't able to really sleep. I wasn't getting much sleep for that, and then just having to meet deadlines and all of that stuff. So let me tell y'all. So Sunday, went to church, came home from church, and you guys know on Sunday evenings, Friday or Sunday evenings, we normally film for Millennials and Baby Boomers United, which is like our Facebook talk show where we have powerful conversations between the two generations. So we normally either do that on Friday evenings or on Sunday evenings after church. So we did it Sunday. So anyway, I was already really tired. School's back in session, y'all. So y'all already know the weekends are straight Saturdays and Sundays. So I had not done any of my schoolwork yet. So I needed to get schoolwork done. I had some deadlines I had to meet for my business, for some projects I'm working on. And so I was just, I think, mentally overwhelmed and exhausted from just the thought of everything I had to do. And so I kept telling myself, I just need to go lay down, go lay down. Well, after we finished recording and everything, my mom had kept telling me, you need to go lay down. You need to go lay down. I wasn't listening. So don't y'all know, I was walking down the stairs and I fell straight down the flight of stairs. Hurt my arm, twisted it, hurt my butt. Everything was in complete pain. I'm still in a little bit of pain, but that was my cue. Like, girl, didn't he tell you to have several seats? Have several seats. So I had several seats. So I still had a very important deadline to meet, which was for my very first planner ever. And I met the deadlines. Everything came back perfect. Everything turned out perfect. And I'm really excited about that because y'all know every year I release a new book, normally on my birthday. But this year I wanted to kind of divert from that and pivot a little bit into something different. And a planner was next on my dream list of products to create. And so if you're watching us on YouTube, I'm going to give y'all a little sneak peek of the Launch Your Podcast Like a Pro podcast planner, which I actually use. So that's why I was really interested in doing a planner, because everyone learns in different ways. And, although I had the course for podcasting and things like that, I feel like having something that you could actually measure your success with your show has definitely helped me to grow this show. It helps me when I have, not so much structure, but where I know what I'm getting on here to talk about, because I value you guys' time. And if you are an aspiring podcaster, or if you are a podcaster, it just helps if you know what you need to be giving to people, right? And so the planner will help you to do that. It's very in depth from, idea for an episode to actual publishing, what to do after. And so anyway, if you want to learn more about the podcast planner, if you want to pre-order it, pre-order is now available. It officially releases on April 28th, which is next Saturday. You can go to natashaweston.com/podcast planner. I'll make sure and drop the link in the description. So y'all go check it out. Check that out as well. Also, I'm teaching a free class tomorrow night. So April the 19th, I'm teaching a free class at 7 p.m. Eastern on Podcasting 101. Why podcasting is lit and how you can get in the game. And so if you want to sign up for that, if you're listening to this obviously after, then just disregard this. But if you're interested in getting in that class for tomorrow, you can go to bit.ly/all caps podcasting 101 class. All right. The last thing that I want to share with you guys that's been on my table this week is that I have been nominated or selected as a finalist for my first ever award as an author. And well, now that I think about it, it's my first award for anything really, as far as being an entrepreneur, a business owner. So I'm so excited about that. So it's for the Indie Author Legacy Awards. I've been selected as a finalist for the award show, which takes place in Baltimore on June 20th. For more information about that, you can go to indieauthorlegacyawards.com. This is the only of its kind type of award show that honors modern impact-centered writers who serve as unsung heroes within our communities. So I'm honored. So thank you to the entire team over there, and more importantly, thank you to each and every one of you out there who thought it not robbery to nominate myself and the Brand You Like a Boss book. So it's only because of y'all and God, obviously, that these things are happening for me. So I appreciate y'all. I pray I win. I don't think I'll be attending the award show because that's actually my birthday weekend, and I already had plans. It's the Tottie birthday weekend going down in Charlotte. So I will not be able to attend the actual award show, but I'm completely honored. Thank you guys out there for selecting me or nominating me, and thank you to the awards committee for selecting me as a finalist. And also congratulations to all of the other finalists out there. All right, so now we're going to move into my favorite part of the whole show. But before we do, don't forget to let me know what's on your table this week. You can tweet me, you can tag me on Instagram at OfficialTottie, or you can use the show's hashtag Table Talk with Tottie. Let me know what's up. Oh, all right. So the next part of our show is the Table Talk Roundup. And if you're new here, this is where we talk about a highlighted current event of the week. And we all know what that's going to be this week. Last week we talked about Cardi B's album. Today we're going to talk just very briefly about Beyonce's Coachella performance. Now, I'm not going to get into much of a recap of that, only because I did just post a new video on my YouTube channel all about the things, what we can learn from Beyonce's Coachella performance about excellence. And so if you have not watched that video yet, hop over to my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OfficialTottie, and check out that video that just dropped yesterday. Now, y'all already know, and I'm going to try not to repeat too much of what's in the video, but we all know Beyonce is a great resemblance of excellence. The girl is just completely, she just exudes, she breathes, she just does everything so excellent. Now, I'm not saying that nothing goes wrong in her life and that there's no hiccups or flaws anywhere, because we all know that's even the person that appears the most perfect has issues, right? An issue is an issue is an issue. However, it just seems like every time this girl hops on the scene, she's not everywhere for one. Like, you're not seeing her at every award show. You're not seeing her all over the blogs unless it's really something good. Like, I can count on one hand the number of times Beyonce has really been in the press in a negative light, right? But other than that, she is, I don't even want to say a hard worker and a perfectionist, because that's kind of like an understatement when it comes to her. But she puts her all into everything that she does. And it seems like there's always this ongoing debate about whether or not Beyonce that we can do the same things as Beyonce can do. I hope that makes sense. There's always this ongoing conversation about reaching Beyonce level of success, or there's this very popular quote that says, you know, we have the same 24 hours as Beyonce. And I've been seeing a lot of like controversy and conversations about that, especially on Facebook. Now, I do agree we all have 24 hours in a day that's given to every human on this planet. But how we work that 24 hours and the access that we have to different people, resources, and things are completely different than Beyonce's. Like, that's definitely really no argument there. However, I'm kind of glad that the conversation, or that I paid more attention to the conversation that was being had since the performance, because I've also been getting a lot of questions from just people I interact with on a daily basis. One young lady in particular, we were talking last week, and she basically was, you know, saying, well, like, I don't really have the money to invest in, you know, which is a new brand or a new project for her, but how do I move forward? How do I progress without actually having to invest money that I don't have right now? And y'all know I love to talk about this subject because I came up in this game with nothing. Still, in so many aspects, still the same way. If I can just be completely transparent here. There have been times where I didn't have the money to buy a course, a class, invest in a coach, go to a conference, a summit, or whatever the case may be. But what I did have, and I want you guys to make note, and this is really kind of the main point of today's episode, is you may not have the money, but you've got the time, right? No money, more time, all right? That's today's topic. No money, more time. So I see everyone saying that we don't technically have the same hours in a day as Beyonce because she has staff, she has nannies, she has her mom, she has a team of people around her. And there's this one picture floating around in particular where she's, you know, sitting, I don't know if it was behind stage at a rehearsal, but she had her whole team around her and they were going through, I guess, costumes and things like that, logistic stuff. And people were saying, well, you know, if you don't have a team like that, obviously Beyonce can execute at a level that she executes at because she's got a large team around you. Well, this is very true. However, we all can be excellent at different stages. If we learn to do what Beyonce did in the beginning and invest something that is a 4-letter word, TIME. If you don't have the money, you have the time. Time is literally priceless. And time, in a lot of ways, is more valuable than money invested. Time invested can leave you with more of a legacy. It can leave you with more of a stronger emotional connection to what it is that you're doing versus just getting money given to you to execute something. You don't really know what the meaning is because it was so easy to attain until you really don't value it, and then other people may not value it as much. Versus if you're literally starting from the ground. I always say the person that's starting from scratch really has more leverage than the person that's given everything, the person that has the money to do every single thing they need to do. There's really no fight. There's really no push. There's really no urgency or urge to continue to elevate if you are already just kind of at a level of everything is just given to you. It's just so easy, right? And so I always say the person that doesn't have the most money, the person that is if your back is up against the wall and you don't have money to start a business, if you don't have money to go to a conference, if you don't have money to hire someone to tell you how to execute A, B, and C, then you're at a lot of advantage because you could either figure out your own unique way to do it and then duplicate that and teach other people, which in return you can monetize, or you can, you know, it's just all about perspective. And I feel like we all live in a day and age where I'm sure at least 95% of us out here have smartphones. Ain't too many people walking around with a flip phone that doesn't have a HD screen, HD capabilities, or a voice memo on it. If you are struggling to, let's just say you want to have an event, but you don't have the money, you don't have the audience, you don't have the traction to get sponsors or to attract sponsors or to secure sponsors or to secure ticket sales or things like that. Start building relationships now with what you have, with what is free. And what is free is a smartphone. If you have an iPhone, if you have a computer, if you don't have Wi-Fi even, go to McDonald's and sit in a parking lot. That's what I used to do. That's how I found my BET internship. That's how I was able to connect with people in different cities all over the country, even though I didn't have a penny in my pocket. And so worry less about the money that you don't have to invest and worry more about the time that you do have. Don't sit around moping and groping about not having money to do this or to do what it appears everybody else is doing. Focus on the little bit that you have now and figure out how you can position that little bit and multiply it into something that's going to position you for the long term. We do live in a society where it seems like everything happens so quick. It seems like the people who we are inspired by, it seems like they're able to produce and execute things so quickly and so efficiently. At the end of the day, y'all, you don't know what it takes for them to execute that. You don't even know if they have the money. It may just look like they have the money. There are things that I put out that people think I've invested thousands of dollars in, when it literally all I invested in was my time and my idea of my thought and the internet. Literally, that's it. And so don't get blindsided. Don't get caught up in the money that you don't have. Revert that energy into the time that you do have, because time is priceless. I am grateful for the many years of just having nothing but time, because time allowed me to get creative. Time allowed me to really push my idea process more than just surface level, and it allowed me to really connect in areas emotionally that allow me to think clearer and execute more strategically, if that makes any sense. So this is basically what I really want to emphasize here in today's show, is that, instead of focusing on the money you don't have, ask yourself, do you have equity in your dreams? Have you sown seeds? Seeds don't always have to mean money. Seeds can mean time. Seeds can be sowing into nurturing and growing relationships. Seeds can be, investing money where you can. So what I did a lot of, and I talked about this in my first book, is I would pick up overtime hours at work. And the money that I earned from those overtime hours, I would actually invest in doing little things that could actually push my ideas and my projects a lot further. And so that's what I want to leave with you today, is that if you don't have the money, you do have the time. If you are living, breathing, walking on this planet, you have the time. Everybody might not have the money, but we all have that one thing in common. The one thing that Beyonce has leveraged the heck out of, and that is time. All right. So today's table talk takeaway is, you don't get what you wish for. You get what you work hard for. You don't get what you wish for, but you do get what you work hard for. All right. So whatever it is out there that you want to do, go ahead and get rid of that whole I don't have the money attitude and mindset. It's a mindset thing that has to be shifted before you can, at least be on the way to reaching Beyonce's level of success. I believe that I can, reach that level of excellence, even at the stage that I'm in now. And I want you to believe the same thing for yourself as well. And so that wraps today's episode. I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but this is episode number 40. So we're finally at episode 40. I feel like I should have did some type of celebration, but in celebration, y'all, please let me know in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube or if you're listening to this audibly, let me know by leaving a review what your favorite episode has been of the 40 episodes that we've done so far for the show. I really love to hear from you guys. I really like to hear what you guys are thinking. I like feedback. And I want to shout out one young lady in particular who totally made my week a few days ago. She left me this kind message on Facebook Messenger. So shout out to Marsha, and I hope I don't butcher your name, Marsha Zetterquitz, for your kind feedback on your podcast. It means so much to me to hear that. And I'm going to briefly kind of try to kind of tell y'all what she said because I don't remember everything verbatim. But Marsha basically shared how it feels like, even though we don't know each other, she feels like I'm like her, the girl that lives next door. And that's exactly what I want this show to be. I want us to be able to talk about current things. I want us to be able to talk about life. I want to be able to share what's going on with me with y'all, and I want y'all to share what's going on with you with me. And so the fact that she sent that and actually screenshotted it and shared it on my Instagram and Facebook page, I think it confirmed that the show is going in a direction that I want it to go in, and for that I'm very grateful. And while I'm on this subject, I want to touch on something that I shared with my mom yesterday. I wasn't sure if I was going to share this with you guys, but I think I will. As you guys know, Spotify was hosting some type of contest for women of color who are in podcasting, and basically, in a nutshell, you had to pitch a show idea, and they would fly you and like, I don't remember how many other people, out to New York to their offices, and you would get coached and things like that by some experts. And when I tell you, from the day it came out, I got tagged in it so many times, and I even wrote it down on my whiteboard back here to submit. But y'all know I wasn't really moved to submit my information for the contest. I can't tell y'all exactly why yet, but this year I've been really moving in flow and listening to God more, and I just don't feel like that was the move for me. But I do want to say thank you to everyone who tagged me. Just that you thought of me when you think of women of color in podcasting. It means a lot to me. But I'm loving the pace that the show is moving at. It's growing tremendously. The downloads are increasing. The shares are increasing. And so I feel like I'm in a good place. And I don't know yet. It hasn't been revealed to me yet why I wasn't moved to submit to the Spotify contest. And maybe down the road that'll be something good for me. I don't know, but I'm moving in flow. Flow has what's been really opening the doors this year for me, and so I'm going to stay right there. But anyway, shout out to everybody who tuned in today for today's show. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit subscribe. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts, formerly known as iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, we're literally everywhere. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure that you hit the subscribe button so you get the notification each week of when a new episode goes live. And don't forget to rate and review. And even if you don't want to write out anything, rate the show. Let me know. This is all great feedback for me. So until episode 41, guys, don't forget to let me know what you think of today's show all over social media using the hashtag Table Talk with Tottie, or you can tag me at OfficialTottie. And be sure to join my VIP list at NatashaWeston.com. I will talk to you guys in the next episode.